Good morning, children. So in this part, this will be the last part of the chapter journal. In this, we'll be discussing few of the transactions, and these transactions are very well from your book itself, but these are different points of different questions which I thought of discussing with you. So I'll be discussing it verbally, logically, and you will be solving all these questions on your own in your register. I'll be explaining you the entries, I'll be explaining you the calculation, I will be explaining you the logic, but you will be doing it as a home. So let us begin. The first transaction says goods sold to Ram rupees 40,000. So what will be the entry? If you see, the word cash is not mentioned here and the name of the person is given. So we will consider it as a credit sales, and therefore the entry for this will be Ram debited. Now since Ram is a human being, so therefore we will not write the word account in front of his name. So we will pass the entry Ram debited 40,000 to sales account 40,000. Then the next transaction, Ram returned 10% of the above goods. Ram return, that means a customer return, that means it is a sales return. Now sales carry a credit balance, whereas sales return carries a debit balance. And Ram has returned 10% of the above goods, that means 10% of 40,000, which means that Ram has returned 4,000 rupees goods. So the entry will be sales return account debited 4,000 to Ram 4,000, because now Ram has become the creditor for the business, because now the business needs to return the money of the returned goods back to Ram. Then third point, paid cash to Raj 9600 and discount received from him 400. So Raj, being a personal account, is the receiver. Debit the receiver. So we will debit Raj with how much amount? We'll just see it further. Raj will be debited. Then what are we paying? We are paying cash. That means cash is going out. So we will credit to cash account. And how much cash we will debit? 9600. Then we are also receiving discount 400. So discount received is again, it will carry a credit balance. So we will credit to discount received account 400. So total credit is 10,000. Therefore we will debit Raj with 10,000. So the entry framed here will be Raj debited 10,000 to cash account 9600 to discount received account 400. Point number 4. Received from Shyam rupees 4900 and discount allowed to him 100. Now we are receiving money from Shyam. That means cash is coming in. So we will debit cash account debited 4900. Then we are also allowing him discount for rupees 100. Discount allowed is an expense from the business and therefore it will be debited. So cash account debited 4900, discount allowed account debited 100. Now who is the giver here? Shyam. We credit the giver. So to Shyam 5000. That means the combined entry for this will be cash account debited 4900, discount allowed account debited 100, to Shyam 5000. Then fifth transaction, goods sold to Ajay 30,000. Now again the word cash is not mentioned, so we'll pass the entry for credit sales, that is Ajay debited 30,000 to sales account 30,000. Next point, Ajay returned goods 2,000. Ajay is returning, that means we must have sold to Ajay. That means it is also a sales return. So sales carries a credit balance, whereas sales return carries a debit balance. So the entry for this will be sales return account debited 2,000 to Ajay 2,000. Then received cash from Ajay 27,500 in full settlement. Now the question is saying that we are receiving 27,500 from Ajay in full settlement. That means we are settling his account. So in order to see that how much was actually due from him, we have to go through the previous transactions. So if the transactions which are related to Ajay. So if you see the transaction number 5, goods worth rupees 30,000 was sold to Ajay, out of which 2,000 he has returned. That means 28,000, the difference, was still left to be received from Ajay, out of which he has paid only 27,500, and we are settling his account. And whenever the account is settled, we use the word discount and not bad debts. So here, how much cash are we receiving? 27,500. So cash account will be debited by 27,500. And how much we are just waiving it off just to fully settle the account? 500 rupees, because 28,000 was due, but we are receiving 27,500. So this 500 which we are waiving off is a discount allowed for the business. It will carry a debit balance. So the entry will look like cash account debited 27,500, discount allowed account debited 500, to Ajay 28,000. Then Ramesh sold goods to us. Now very important. Ramesh has sold goods to us. That means we are buying the goods. The business is buying the goods. So that means it is purchases for the business. This means the goods this is an indirect language. Don't get confused, children. It means that the goods are purchased by the business from Ramesh, and the word cash is not given here. So this is kind of credit purchases. So the entry passed here will be purchase account debited 20,000 to Ramesh 20,000. Then the next transaction, Kamlesh purchased goods from us rupees 12,000. Again, who is purchasing the goods? Business is not purchasing. Rather, Kamlesh is purchasing the goods from us. That means this is the sales for the business. So, and again, cash word is not given, so this will be regarded as the credit sales. So the entry for this will be Kamlesh debited 12,000 to sales account 12,000. Then 10th point, paid for life insurance premium of the business owner. Now life insurance premium is related to somebody's life. That means it is a personal expense. So the business has paid personal insurance expense of the business owner. That means it is drawings. So the entry will be drawings account debited 2000 to cash account 2000, because the payment is made in cash. Point number 11, paid wages 2000, advertisement expenses 2500, and salaries 9000. All these three are nominal account. These are expenses. All these will be debited, and because this is nominal account, so we assume that these are paid in cash. So in all these three cases, cash account will be credited in common. So we can pass a combined entry as wages account debited 2000, advertisement expense account debited 2500, salaries account debited 9000, to cash account whatever the net balance will be, the total of this, that is 13,500. Then point number 12, received interest 500 and commission 2000. Again, here interest and commission is a nominal account. These are being received. That means interest account will be credited, commission account will be credited. But in both the cases, one thing is common, that obviously being a nominal account, it will be assumed that these are received in cash. Cash is coming in. So we can pass a combined entry, cash account debited 2500, that means a total of these, to interest account 500, and to commission account 2000. Moving ahead with the 13th transaction, purchased goods from Rajesh rupees 40,000 at 10% trade discount. Now if you remember, trade discount is calculated, it's deducted, but it is not shown separately as discount. And also these are given for facilitating bulk purchases. That means it can be given for cash as well as credit purchase or sale. In this case, the word cash or any hint related to cash transaction is not given, so we will assume that this is a credit purchase. So goods are being purchased from Rajesh on credit for rupees 40,000 at 10% trade discount. So 10% of 40,000 will be 4,000. When we deduct this trade discount amount for 40,000, that means 40,000 minus 4,000. That means ultimately the purchase price is 36,000. So we will pass the entry purchase account debited 36,000 to Rajesh 36,000. Point number 14th, very important point. Returned goods to Rajesh of the list price 1,000. List price means the MRP. So when the goods are being purchased from Rajesh, these were purchased on discount. So when these goods will be returned to Rajesh, then these will be returned also at discount. So if the goods are being returned to Rajesh, the list price, the MRP of which is 1000 rupees, that means we must have received 10% trade discount on this as well. So we need to deduct the discount from amount of goods returned also. So 10% of 1000 will be 100. That means 1000 minus 100, that means the goods which we are returning to Rajesh actually costed us only 900. So the entry for this will be, and as we know this is purchase return, so purchases carry a debit balance, purchase return carries a credit balance. So the entry for this will be Rajesh debited, again he will become the debtor because now we will want our 900 rupees back from him because we are returning the goods. So the entry will be Rajesh debited 900 to purchase return account 900. Next, paid cash to Rajesh in full settlement of his account 34,000. Very easy. What you have to do, whenever the cash is being paid or received in full settlement, you have to go through the previous transactions related to the respective person. Now, as we can see, the 13th transaction is related to Rajesh, the 14th transaction is related to Rajesh. Now if you see, in the 13th transaction we purchase goods from Rajesh worth rupees 36,000 after deducting discount. Then out of this 36,000, in the 14th transaction we returned the goods worth rupees 900 after deducting discount. So that means 36,000 minus 900, that means 35,100, which means that Rajesh is our creditor for 35,100, out of which we have paid 34,000 to him, and this is the case of full settlement. So the amount which we are not required to pay now, this will be considered as discount received because we are making the payment. So cash account will be credited because cash is going out, and how much cash is going out? 34,000. Discount received account will be credited because we are receiving the discount of 1100, that is 35,100. How much is due minus how much cash is actually paid, that is 34,000. And Rajesh will be debited by 35,100 because he was our creditor. He was credited in our books. Now since we are doing the full settlement, we are wiping off his name from the books of accounts, therefore we are required to debit him. So the combined entry for this full settlement will be Rajesh debited 35,100 to cash account 34,000 to discount received account 1100. The next transaction, number 16th, sold goods to Kush of the list price rupees 1 lakh at trade discount 15%. Now the same thing is here, but this is a case of credit sales. So the entry will be Kush debited to sales account 1 lakh minus 15%. 15% of 1 lakh is 15,000. So 1 lakh minus 15,000, that means 85,000. So the entry for this will be Kush debited 85,000 to sales account 85,000. The next transaction says Kush returned goods of the list price 4,000. Now the list price, that means again we need to deduct 15% of trade discount. So 15% of 4,000, when we deduct 15% from 4,000, that means 600 we need to deduct. So we will get an amount of 3,400. This is the value of the goods actually returned to Kush. So the entry for this will be passed as sales return account debited because this is sales return 3,400 to Kush 3,400. Next transaction, received from Kush the amount due from him under a cash discount of 5%. So the how much we have sold goods to Kush, we have sold goods worth rupees 85,000 to him, out of which 3,400 is returned by him. So ultimately 81,600 is due from Kush, but we are also giving him 5% of cash discount and we are receiving the payment. So 5% of 81,600, the due amount will be 4,080, and this is the time of receiving the payment, therefore discount will be allowed by the business to Kush. That means it is an expense for the business and it will carry a debit balance. and simultaneously out of the due amount, when this cash discount was given, that means out of 81,600, 4,080 rupees was given as discount. That means remaining balance of 77,520 will be received in cash. Cash account will be debited because cash is coming in. So the combined entry for this case will be cash account debited 77,520, discount allowed account debited 4,080, to Kush 81,600. 19th point. Bought goods from Sohan of the list price 10,000 at 15% trade discount. Again the same thing, you will deduct the trade discount and you will pass the entry for credit sale purchases. Entry will be purchase account debited 8,500 to Sohan 8,500. Next question. Settled the account of Sohan by paying cash under discount of 400. So 8,500 is due towards Sohan. Now we are settling his account by paying him cash under discount of 4%. So 4% of 8,500 will be 340. Now since the business is making the payment, therefore this will be the discount received, and it is an income, it is a gain, therefore it will carry a credit balance. So when the business owes 8,500 towards Sohan, out of which 340 is received as discount, so the remaining balance of 8,160 will be paid to Sohan, due to which cash is going out, therefore cash account will be credited. So the combined entry for this will be Sohan debited 8,500 to cash account 8,160 to discount received account 340. Next question. Next transaction. Bought a table fan for rupees 1,200 for the domestic use of the owner. Domestic use for the owner means household use of the owner. That means this is a personal expense. We will not consider it as a furniture. No. It is a personal expense, and the moment personal expense comes or personal use comes, the immediately the one thing which should pop up into your mind is drawings account will be debited. So in this case the entry will be drawings account debited 1,200 to cash account 1,200, because in the case of asset, even if the word cash is not given, we assume it to be in cash unless and until it is specified that these are on credit. Then 22nd transaction. Sold goods for cash of the list price 8,000 at 10% trade discount and 3% cash discount. So first of all, what you need to do is we have to calculate and deduct the trade discount. So 10% of 800 will be 8,000 will be 800. So that means 8,000 minus 800, ultimately the value of goods is 7,200. On this, the business has also allowed, because this is the case of sales, so business has also allowed the 3% cash discount. So 3% of 7,200 will be 216, and since this is discount allowed, it will carry a debit balance. So 7,200 was the ultimate sales price after deducting trade discount, or out of which the business has given 216 rupees also as cash discount. Ultimately the business will receive 6,984, due to which cash is coming in, therefore cash account will be debited. So the entry for this will be cash account debited 6,984, discount allowed account debited 216, to sales account 7,200. 23rd point. Bought goods from Nishi for rupees 20,000 at trade discount 10% and cash discount 2% and paid 60% of the amount immediately. Now when trade discount, cash discount and partial payment, all three are given to you, the hierarchy will be, first of all you will deduct the trade discount. After deducting the trade discount, whatever the value is coming, that will be divided into two parts. One, the percentage or the proportionate paid in cash, and proportionate on credit. Then the amount which is to be paid in cash, the cash discount will be calculated and deducted from this. That means here in this case, trade discount of 10% first of all will be calculated on 20,000, which is coming to 2,000. So ultimately the price, the value for the goods purchased from Nishi will be 18,000. Out of this 18,000, 60% will be paid immediately. So first of all we will take out how much is paid immediately, and 40% will be paid later on. That means 7,200 will be paid later on. That will be credited to creditor, that is Nishi. Then the remaining 60% is to be paid in cash, on which we will calculate 2% of cash discount. Now since we are purchasing the goods, therefore we will be receiving the discount, so discount received account will be credited, and after deducting cash discount out of 60%, the net amount will be paid in cash, due to which cash will be going out and cash account will be credited. So the ultimately entry will be purchase account debited 18,000 to cash account to discount received account with the amount of cash discount calculated on 60% of the amount after deducting trade discount to Nishi with the 40% of 18,000. 24th point, Aman, who owed us 15,000, is declared as insolvent. Then remember one thing, if at the time when any customer has been declared as insolvent or bankrupt, any amount which could not be recovered from him will be considered as bad debts. Bad debts is a loss for the business, and therefore it will carry a debit balance. So coming back to the point, Aman, who owed rupees 15,000, is declared as insolvent, and 65 paise in a rupee is received as final dividend from his estate. 65 paise in a rupee means 65%. It is just a way of saying, because a rupee has a 700 paise. So if 65 paise in a rupee means 65%. So Aman, who owed us, that means Aman was our debtor for rupees 15,000, he has become insolvent, and after selling his private property, only 65% could be recovered. That means remaining 35% could not be recovered. That means remaining 35% is the bad debts. It is a loss. So the 65% of 15,000, which is 9,750, it is being received in cash. Cash is coming in, therefore cash account will be debited. The remaining 35% of 15,000, which is 5,250, could not be recovered from his private estate or private property. Therefore, it will be considered as a bad debt, as a loss. Therefore, it will be debited. So we will debit bad debts account to debtor or Aman 15,000. So the combined entry for this will be cash account debited 9,750, bad debts account debited 5,250 to Aman 15,000. Then the last transaction, children, supplied goods costing rupees 6,000 to Ayushi, issued invoice at 10% above cost less 5% trade discount. That means the bill which was made for supplying goods to Ayushi, that means for selling goods to Ayushi, at an invoice 10% above cost, that means at 10% profit less 5% trade discount. So 10% profit of the value 6,000, 10% of 6,000 will be 600. That means the goods which are being sold to Ayushi is being sold at 6,600 less 5% of trade discount. So 5% of 6,600 will be 330 rupees. So after deducting 330 rupees from 6,600, the net amount will be the amount of goods sold to Ayushi. And since the word cash is not given, neither cash discount is given nor cash reward is given, so we will assume it to be a credit sales, and we will pass the entry Ayushi debited to sales account with the respective balance. That is 66,000 plus 600, that is 6,600 minus 5%, that is minus 330. So these are the various diversified transactions, children. On all the these have been dig out from the questions of your book itself, just to make you more clear, and it was just kind of a revision. So I hope the transactions are clear to you. Go through the video once again, go through all the transactions, all the adjustments once again, revise them all, and do practice all the questions which have been given to you. This is the assignment based on the entire chapter. You have to answer the following question in your accounts register. You have to solve practical question number 21 to 27. That means 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 and 27 from the chapter Books of Original Entry Journal of your accounts book by D.K. Goel. And do make sure, since we are winding up this chapter, we have completed the chapter in detail, so you cannot miss out any single entry on the ground that it has not been discussed or something like that. Kindly go through all the questions, even the question which were given to you as a homework in part 1, part 2, part 3, because till that time we did not discuss all the transactions, so I asked you to leave all those transactions which we have not discussed. Therefore, just go through all the questions which were given to you as homework specially, and just go through the transactions which you must have left out, which are left out, which you must have missed out because we did not cover those transactions. But now you can very well do it, and practice as many questions as you can, children. It will brush up your uh, skills and your concepts. In the upcoming video, children, we will be proceeding further with the chapter ledger. Thank you, children. Take care.